Hello, my name is Oli Sorenson, and today I'd like to introduce you to my latest work, soon showing at Optica Gallery in Montreal. First of all, I should mention the title, which is Antimap. This is a title that's inspired by some French friends of mine, a collective called Antimap, and they were the first to coin the video mapping technique, which is now very popular in digital art festivals. So when presenting such a process in an art gallery, what I'm doing is questioning the widening gap between digital arts and visual arts. I'm questioning the reason for such a separation to happen. And here, what I'm doing is presenting an example of works that do bridge the gap between the two. So what I'm showing here is both digital art in the form of a video installation and visual art in the shape of a painting. Both have qualities of their own, but I think it's when you show them together that they become much stronger. So most urgently, I think paintings are helping digital artworks to stop this trend of constantly falling into obsolescence. You have Moore's law that says that every 2 years computers and their content have to reinvent themselves into something twice as powerful or that can stand the test of time. If you look at an electronic piece of artwork that is just a few years old, you're often disappointed by the low resolution, or sometimes you can't even open it because the software that you need is out of date, or even worse, the hard drive that you stored it on has become worn out. So there's constantly this need to back up, update, or even remake the work, the digital work, for it to keep with the current technology. And this is also true about photography, since it became digital. Photos can now be infinitely manipulated via Photoshop, and in the process they lost their status of document. Meanwhile, paintings have gone through many centuries, relatively unaltered, and with this in mind, I could argue that they can now reclaim their role of documents that they lost at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. So this is why I chose to take a snapshot of the video installation and place it onto the painting. First of all, to show the ephemeral quality of the installation. However, the painting is showing a vulnerable side if we reduce it only to its role of document, because it may lose its much valued self-referential autonomy. So the black and white lines don't show any organic figures, but we still can't call it abstract because it's directly referring to the installation on the opposite wall. So this way it's more or less a portrait of the installation. So this is very much the dialogue we're working on here. Both works are interdependent. They complement each other and cannot function as well outside of the group dynamic I put them in. To me, this reflects my thoughts about contemporary culture, which is created in a much more participatory way because we're living in an age of networks. So I'm not using the metaphor of broadcasting or cinema screening, where the projector could be seen as a transmitter and the screen as a receiver. So in the metaphor of the network society, what's coming out of the projector is not the final product, but only part of the process, which is then distorted onto the different surfaces which participate in multiplying the patterns into many different contexts. It's locally altering what is coming out globally from the projector. So this way I find the screens are not passive anymore, and what's coming out of the projector can't be seen as monolithic anymore. So this pretty much sums up my take on the exhibition I set up at Optica Gallery. Everything is interrelated, and can't be so much viewed in isolation. So I really hope you can make the opening. It's on the 17th of March 2012. Come and say hi and let me know your thoughts.